Racehorse.
Here at Northern Maverick Brewery.
And this is Beers with Bands.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So introduce yourself, tell us the role you play in the band, and if you remember what you're drinking, tell us what beer you're having.
My name is Katie, and I play the acoustic guitar and the banjo, and I sing, and I'm drinking a lager.
I'm Tara, I play guitar, and I'm drinking a sour.
I'm Brandy. I sing and I play bass in this band, and it isn't too far into this to know that I'm drinking a sour.
Okay, good.
And I'm Krista. I play the drums, and this is a Hefeweizen. It's nice. It's
I'm
good.
also enjoying the Hefeweizen.
Oh, are you?
It's a good
Cheers.
beer. It's a good beer. So you guys travel across Canada, North America, spend a fair bit of time in a van?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you guys need to keep yourself busy when you're on these long van rides?
You know, we kind of keep ourselves busy by running our business, I would say. And also, well, I like to listen to podcasts. That's my main, I'm done working for the day. So.
Any recommendations?
Oh, God, the Dax Shepard one is so good. This American Life is great. I have 5 or 6 true crime podcasts. How long do we want to sit here?
You two have a.
Krista and I could supply our favorite list.
Okay.
We often do. Don't ever forget My Favorite Murder.
Oh my God, My Favorite Murder.
That's just what I was going to say. I'm like, you guys aren't going to mention your guilty pleasure, which is definitely my favorite murder.
The Malcolm Gladwell one, Revisionist History, Broken Record. Is this a podcast interview now?
It's all good. It's all good. It keeps you guys busy.
I love the podcast because I actually have terrible motion sickness, so I can't read. I can only really do nothing but have band meetings, listen to podcasts, and sing 90s country songs with Katie, which these two hate us doing all the time.
That's amazing. So let's take it back to some firsts. Do you remember the first beer or alcoholic beverage that you had?
Ooh.
Mine is funny, actually. So this is the first official alcoholic beverage I had because we're an Alberta-based band. So in Alberta, the drinking age is 18. When I turned 18, my jaw was wired shut because I had recently had some jaw surgery. And so my dad made me a Bailey's milkshake, which I sipped through a straw on my 18th birthday.
Best dad ever. I'm going to send your dad a Father's Day card.
And I officially have never told that story ever before, actually.
That's amazing.
It was probably, if that was your first at 18, that's really nice. Official?
Yeah, we can stick to official.
I'm not going to stick to official. My first real bad experience was going through my parents' liquor cabinet at probably 14 years old with my cousin and drinking a little bit of everything and then puking on every level of the house floor.
I feel like that's a Canadian heritage moment that they never made a commercial for. That we've all.
The more you grow.
Right?
Yeah, just the parents' liquor cabinet.
Mine was definitely beer. I grew up on a cattle ranch, and we would take our cattle to cattle shows, and I remember that we would always, afterwards, the cowboys would all sit around with their feet up drinking some light beer, and I may have taken a couple of them. Sorry, Mom.
She's only mad because she wanted to know where her light beer went. Mine actually might be another Canadian heritage moment. This is I'm going to go with my first legitimate legal one, my official one, because I'm too embarrassed to say when my first one was. But when I turned 18, I had joined the military, and so I was in my basic training, and I had to go across, we were in Ontario, and I had to go across the border to Quebec because we were in Ottawa and military. I had to go across the border to have my first drink.
That is a Canadian heritage.
Yeah,
that
right?
Is. Driving to Quebec to have it.
Everyone goes to Hull when they turn 18. Yes.
It's like growing up in Alberta when you could have just had your drink. That's
Right.
Makes it really funny, but you weren't there.
No.
Exactly. So I just, had to make the trip.
That's amazing. What about your first concert? Do you remember the first concert you ever went to?
Yeah. Tegan and Sarah. I was in the 7th grade, and I'm talking a lot about my birthday today, apparently, because we share a birthday. They have the same birthday as me, although they're older, I'd like to point out.
Okay.
But that was my first concert.
Yeah, we're about to hit you with we're way older. I I can't remember which came first. It was either New Kids on the Block, Celine Dion, or Bette Midler. But they were all around the same age, and I was all really young. Yeah.
My first concert was Michelle Wright, and I believe I was in grade 2 or 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and my uncle was the promoter in the town I grew up in. So I actually got to go backstage and meet Michelle, and they took a picture for the paper of me meeting Michelle. I was really excited, and I was in love with her. And just recently, a couple months ago, I was in Nashville, and I was at a party that Michelle was at. She actually walked me back to my car because she was worried about me.
Aww.
And I'm like, this is a moment come full circle.
That is amazing.
Mine was Alabama.
That's
right.
How old were you?
I don't know, just a little baby.
Just a little one. Just a little one. What about right now? Who musically is on your radar? Who are you guys listening to a lot of right now?
I love Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real. Like that, like they are so amazing, and I love the albums. But I got to go see them live in 2019, and the first song they played right out of the gate was this song about. They're like, this is the country song about outer space, and I was like, I love this. It was amazing. It did not disappoint.
Nice.
Definitely the music we agree on as a band, I would say, is like Miranda Lambert and the Cadillac Three. Like if we're in or Brothers Osborne is maybe another one. If we're all in the band together, we can't go wrong with one of those. No one's going to kill anyone.
Okay.
I've been listening to a lot of Ashley McBride lately. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been kind of obsessed with the 60s country playlist.
Oh.
But to get to I'll swing around to a current band. There's a band from Nashville called Thelma and the Sleaze. They're a bunch of women, and they are so awesome. They're so badass.
That's a good name.
Yeah, you should look them up.
I'm
They're fucking sweet. Yeah.
And what about drinking a lot of right now? And it doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol.
I mean, what? We love water and tea, and in the mornings I really like coffee. This is my first beer.
No,
Okay, there. Yeah, Pukey McPukerson
Yeah, you
over
already-
there.
you already told that story, Sarah. We know it's not true.
My first drink, though.
I will say though, we've had a recent the last 6 months, I think we've had a real love for Cava. We
Oh,
went
yeah,
we
Prosecco and-
went
yeah.
on our first tour in Europe this summer, and we went to Spain, and so that was kind of our drink when we were there. And
Because it's so cheap. we're very classy ladies.
I believe she meant to say economical.
Right, economical.
That's-
That's- yeah.
It's the $10 glass of Coke or the $2 glass of wine.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we want to be transported back there, that's
have
what we
some
drink.
kava.
Yeah.
What about you? Same kava, or are
All
you a
of the
coffee
above.
fiend? Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great. Okay, so last question, and you guys each get to answer it individually.
Okay.
You get to brew your own beer. You get to put in your own personal secret ingredients, and then name it after one of your songs. Which beer are you creating? Yes. So secret ingredients, and then song. Anyone got it?
Oh yeah. Okay. So I would put in. Is it just one ingredient? I only.
Whatever you wanna put in
Okay. I would definitely do a beer with. This should exist. Is a beer with dark chocolate and ginger, and cayenne, chili. Would be so good. Okay, which one of our songs should it be named after? That's the problem. That's the beer I want to drink. It would probably maybe our upcoming single, Hot Mess.
Okay.
Sounds
There's lots of things in
there's
it.
a lot of things in it. It's sort of a
Yeah, that
Yeah.
works. That works.
I was actually gonna name mine after Hot Mess too, because I
Well, you call it Hot Mess too.
Hot Mess too. Yeah, because I love all hot and spicy foods. So I think I would put wasabi and beer together, and I would call it Hot Mess.
You good, or you want
Yeah.
me to go? No. I would take an oak barrel that has had whiskey in it, and I would brew a lager in it, leave it in there for about 2 months too long. Let it get real nice and stale, and then
This is very well thought out.
wait.
I feel like she's
No,
doing this
when
right
you
now.
said song, I had someone else's song in mind, so I went there. But I just whipped this one together, and then I would call it Handsome because it's about an old, like the small town bar that everyone has ever been to, and we all know what they smell like: whiskey, stale beer,
And nostalgia.
and nostalgia.
And nostalgia. That's
Here.
good. That's good.
Okay, I thought about this, and you know, like the smell of like freshly cut hay when you're in a barn.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put that in my beer.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, and then I'd call it "Hold Your Horses."
Oh, that's good. That is
Thanks.
very good.
You know
And
what? You can have Hot Mess. I'll call mine The Good Life.
All your favorite things.
Because ginger is good for you.
Those are literally all.
Yeah.
Yeah, ginger is very good.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, nailed it. Nice horse.
Hold your horses.
Nice Horse Brewery opening.
exactly. The
2021.
4-pack coming to an LCBO
Yeah.
near you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I don't think
Buy
it's
it.
2021. knowing Nice Horse, we think of an idea and then we're like,
Opening next month.
opening tomorrow is our brewery.
and where can everyone find you on your socials?
We are at Nice Horse Music across the board or nicehorsemusic.com.
Perfect. And we'll make sure that we post all the links to all of their socials on the post below. We are Beers with Bands, Instagram and Twitter at Beers Bands. Make sure you give us a follow on YouTube at BeerX so you don't miss a single one of these fun videos we do with these bands. And cheers, guys.
Cheers.